It's been a long time since I've done one of these, but you guys asked some questions. I'm going to answer them here on Ask Brian. First question, how does it feel knowing that you raised an entire generation on your voice impressions?
Hey, you young whippersnappers, quit rubbing in how old I am.
I joke about the age thing, but honestly, it's really cool when somebody comes up and says that I could impact them that much that they remember me from whenever they were younger. People tell me that in person all the time, and it really is special, so it feels really cool to know that I've had an impact on people at all. So thank you guys for being awesome. If you had a pet elephant, what would you name it? Oh, Timbo. His name would be Timbo, because that is the Swahili word for elephant. I totally jacked that from Simba in The Lion King. Because Simba is Swahili for lion. What do you miss about Texas? Obviously, I miss my friends and family who I still keep in close contact with. But other than that, I miss barbecue! Like, yeah, I found a couple good places for barbecue out here in LA. There are a few. They're very far and few between, and they're really expensive. Man, in Texas, there's barbecue on every corner, and it's all amazing, and I want more barbecue. What's the most exciting moment you've ever had while doing voices for a cartoon? I would say this one of the coolest things was when I was working on Tangled the series. I was already an active fan of the show because I didn't come on until after season 2 was already done. I got to ask a few questions so I knew what was going on with the story, and I'm like, oh, this is exciting. I'm getting early intel on a show that I love. And then on top of that, this is going to be kind of confusing for somebody who's never seen the show, but in the episode that I'm in, I played the Sabbington brothers, but as teenagers. But technically, I was playing Rapunzel, because Rapunzel goes back in time, and everyone sees and hears her and Pascal as the two Sabbington brothers.
They keep calling me Burns.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh!
So there were a lot of lines where I was actually being Rapunzel, being the teenage Sabbington brothers. So Mandy Moore actually had to record my dialogue first, and then I had to replicate what she did with their voices. It was definitely a bit of a mental gymnastics for that role, but it was so much fun. And it just feels cool to say, like, Mandy Moore had to record lines just for me. Oh, we got a few questions on this one. Okay, how's Sandy? We haven't seen her in a while. She's good. Yeah, she's not on videos very much for a reason. She just doesn't like being down here when I'm working. Like, if I'm down here and I'm just goofing off and I'm not working, she loves being down here. She just wants to hang out with me. But if I'm working, she gets frustrated and bored because she wants my attention and can't have it. So she'd rather be in the rest of the house where there's other people. My roommates have a dog. She has food, water. There's more to entertain her up there than when I'm working.
See, here's Sandy. She's still around. She just doesn't like being in the studio, do you, girl? Yeah, I know, you don't like being in the studio, but you get to come up and say hello. You say hi to everybody? You say hello?
Did Adam Sandler reach out to you about voicing Dracula in Hotel Transylvania? No. To this day, I have never talked to him or any of the cast members from Hotel Transylvania. When you record these movies, you do them completely alone, so I still haven't met anybody. One day I'd like to at least be able to say hello to everybody, but as of now, no. And do you think Nick and Judy will officially tie the knot in Zootopia 2? I don't think they're gonna be a couple at all. And honestly, I kind of prefer them to not be a couple. I don't know, I just really love the fact that we had a platonic male-female friendship. I think that's personally more interesting than a love arc. I know I'm pretty alone in that, but I find them far more interesting because you don't see them as often. Whereas every other time, there's a guy, there's a girl, you're like, okay, when are they gonna fall in love? You know what I mean? What do you think Disney needs to do to get back to their prime, or do you think they can? Oh, they can 100% come back. Y'all, this is not the first time Disney's ever gone through something like this. They go through this like every 10 years, at least in the feature animation department. They get on a trend, they milk it till it's got nothing left, then they've got to experiment a little bit, then eventually they'll find something new, and then they will milk that, and then the cycle continues. 80s were a dark time, they started experimenting, they got Little Mermaid, and then they took off with the Renaissance. Then it died for a while in the early 2000s, they did some experimenting, got Tangled, Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, and now we're just rinse and repeat. They will come back. What I think it's gonna take is some changes in leadership and changes of main ideas. And we've started to see some changes in leadership in feature animation. They just happened last year, so it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'm optimistic it could happen within the next couple years. I don't think Disney's anywhere close to dying or anything like that. It's just in a rough patch like it gets into all the time. What happened to Ranger Ray's Animal Camp? Okay, so for those guys who don't know, I tried to make my own kids show, Ranger Ray's Animal Camp. I was really proud of it. I played all the characters, I taught kids about animals, I had a blast making it, and I still believe in the idea, but yes, I have had to take a very long hiatus from the show. And the reason why was because I made some mistakes when promoting it and creating it. to where I have basically put myself into a hole that I can't get out of with the algorithm currently as it is. I was posting a video every single week, and every week the views got lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, to where the idea of this getting to where it could turn a profit and actually be worth the time it was taking me to make them just seemed like an impossible goal. I do still believe in the idea, and I do want to try this again. I have thought about just scrapping that channel, doing it over and making a brand new one and fixing those mistakes, but I don't want to do that until I know I have the time to be able to make new episodes, you know? And right now I definitely don't have that. If you can make a Fantasia segment, what music would you use and what story would you tell? I've been waiting for this question my whole life! Ever since I first heard this piece of music, I've wanted to do something like this. Smetna's Moldau. Oh, it's a beautiful piece of music. And the whole thing is based around a river. I would take it a step further and make it the entire ocean, where you're following one fish as they go throughout all the different life in the sea, and to see how one group influences another and how another one influences that one, and how we're all connected in this big web of nature. Like the porpoises would have a section, the whales, sea turtles, sharks, the creatures in the deepest part of the oceans, the sea lions, the seals, penguins, you name it. We would cover everything, and I can see it in my head so clearly, and it's so cool. I also have another one based around Pavan. I almost turned this into a short film, and like the whole thing was like this boy who like thinks he's in love with this girl and like is warned like, don't do this, there's something wrong here, but he doesn't listen. And it's more of a tragic tale, but it would still be really cool, and I think fits the music really, really well too. As a guy who loves classical music, I love Fantasia. I want more like it. Who are my top 5 Pokemon? Oh yeah, I'm a massive Pokemon fan. One is definitely Donphan, obviously for the elephants. Charizard was my favorite as a kid. He's still one of my favorites now. I don't care how basic it is. Then I'd go Dreadnought. I had one on my Sword and Shield team, and he was my favorite, and I named him Lockjaw, and he was awesome. Weirdly enough now, Macargo. If you guys watch my other channel, I actually did a whole thing where I tried to pick my favorite Pokemon, and Macargo kept showing up. I made a whole ballad about how he kept showing up.
It was the fire lover's name, Macargo, Macargo. He thought Brian would never bear Macargo, Macargo.
And that kind of made me love the little guy, so now he's in my top 5. And number 5, I'd probably have to go Blood Moon Ursaluna. This thing is just so cool! And ever since he showed up in Scarlet and Violet, I've been obsessed with him, and he's like been on my team, and he's amazing. Do I have any Christmas traditions? Yes, in my family, we always bake Jesus a birthday cake. Like, we intentionally don't make it like super gaudy or anything. It's just a very simple, usually just chocolate cake with chocolate icing. Even though Jesus never has any of the cake, we still make it for him. What's the number one thing to remember when finding an agent? If you have to pay for them to represent you, run, it's a scam. Any good, decent agent out there will charge you nothing for representing you. They get paid when you get paid. When you get paid, they should take a percentage off of what you make. But these whole, you pay me $5,000, I'll represent you, or you pay me like $500 a month or something ridiculous like that, no, that's a scam, run. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? Dungeons and Dragons, are you kidding? You think I'm one of the guys who like owns the handbook on how to play the game or something like that? Like someone who plays enough to like warrant having 5 different sets of dice with like this ornate setting and like carrying case with him? No, that's not me. Or like has a special mug that he only plays with D&D so that he feels like he's like role-playing in the game? That's not a thing. Or even having one of those dice that are like all 7 dice put into one? No, that's not me, you guys. Hang on, I gotta roll for deception to see if I can fool you guys into thinking that wasn't true. Ha! I rolled an 18! Yes! What's your favorite type of music? I love classical music, soundtrack music, and country. I know I'm weird. Have I ever turned down a voice role due to my faith? I've never turned one down that I was offered. However, I have turned down auditions for them. What movie other than The Lion King is near and dear to your heart? I am a massive fan of the Lord of the Rings series, Jurassic Park, The Green Mile, and Up.
And Paddington. These 5 movies have really touched me in a very special way.
But that's it for this Ask Brian. Let me know in the comments some questions you have, and they might get asked in the next one if we do another one. I don't know, I just kind of wanted to gauge your interest to see if you guys wanted this again. So, we'll see. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!